This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
And we are back for the last story of the day. This one is also very, very big and scandalous, like all of them. Sam has the details. Go ahead, brother.
All right, let's go into it. So a little backstory was Homework was a Magnolia Network show hosted by Andy and Candace Meredith. Episodes followed the couple renovating the homes of local Utah families. So the Merediths didn't have much client-based experience before Homework. They were doing a lot of buying their own homes and then flipping them. So previously they hosted Old Home Love on HGTV where they had worked on their own properties. Now, when the show aired in 2022, several families came forward about problems with their homes causing a public scandal for the network. The allegations were that three families, the Benions, the Hollies, and the Goats, shared horror stories. Projects promised to take weeks dragged on for months. Budgets doubled without warning. The Hollies were told $35,000 of their $45,000 budget was spent on demolition alone. The Benions paid $13,000 up front for a $25,000 project that later increased to $40,000. Not an uncommon story in the contracting world. The Goats paid $50,000 and for work that never even began. So Homeowners lived in dangerous, chaotic conditions throughout it. The Hollies had contractors fall through their floors not once, but two different times. And then contractors were left unpaid in some cases, and communication was nearly non-existent. On the other side, the Merediths admitted that they were overwhelmed, saying that they tried to do their best and acted as consultants, not contractors. Important differentiator there. They blamed poor work and delays on unnamed general contractors, said they paid out of pocket on some projects, and admitted they owed the Goats nearly $40,000 as of 2022, and claimed the social media narrative was one-sided and painful. The outcome of it all was that the Goats family got a judgment ordering the Merediths to pay back their deposit. The Hollies left the show after the $45,000 budget was doubled and finished the project with the help of a family friend for $25,000. The Benions project was completed, but they refused to pay more than the initial $13,000 deposit to the Merediths. She later paid a flooring contractor directly and spent another $18,000 on repairs. And some of the families filed complaints with Utah's Consumer Protection Division. Magnolia pulled the show on January 6, 2022, one day after its launch. It was reinstated a week later pending further review. The Merediths are no longer taking on client projects, and Magnolia promised appropriate resolution, but left many viewers and homeowners demanding more accountability.
Wow, what a story. Everything is in the beginning here. They did not have experience, and it shows communication, everything. So I think it's the problem with HDTV in general, because most of those shows, like I'm on TV production now, right? So when you pack 6-month project into 20-minute episode, it always look easy. You don't see no progress. You don't see the trips to the stores. You don't see how long it actually takes. So it gives people a perception that, hey, we can even remodel one room. It's usually a long project unless you're like super experienced. And to be really good, you have to do it every single day. Like, you have to remodel showers and bathrooms every day to be able to do bathroom remodeling in a few days. If you don't, you might do roof for freaking 3 weeks. You might do bathroom for a month. It will take you longer. It always does take longer. What do you guys think about this story?
I want to hear how the contractors fell through the floor twice and the homeowners didn't.
I'm curious. I mean, this sounds like it went on somewhere, the show was airing in January 22, so it was going on in 2020 and 2021, which, prices for stuff was all over the place. Figuring out labor is difficult. Anyone that's been in the contracting space, you know how difficult it is to bid a roof correctly.
Yep.
General contractor, especially interior, where you have all these different trades. So I'm not surprised if they didn't have experience in the client forward space where they're dealing with all these different things and change orders and things that'll come up throughout it. The fact the homeowners were living in the houses while some of these projects went on was also pretty crazy. But, how do you think these people are supposed to judge the pricing on the front end when everything's going all over the place? How was everyone else doing it at that time?
So the craziest line is $35,000 of $45,000 budget was spent on demolition. First of all, it's one expensive demolition. Second of all, like, what was the budget for? Like, if you have a budget of 45 grand, how can you spend 30? I mean, I get like mismanaging money and, not understanding the budgets, but not
It's impressive.
Yeah, you have to have a special talent to get these kind of results.
That was a good job for the demolition crew to make 35 grand off of.
It's pretty much first contractor who's gonna get paid to come in. Left. Usually it's the finishers who don't get paid.
You said it was an important distinction on the consultants versus contractors, Sam. What was your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I was a little confused just reading through the stories. Like, it sounds like, and even mentions them hiring general contractors. So it doesn't seem that they're the actual general contractors doing the work. Rather, part of the show is them coming in and walking homeowners through that process. Maybe it wasn't displayed that way on TV, but it sounds like that's what was going on behind the scenes. So, who was coming up with these prices was originally, the Merediths coming in, the host of the show, and saying, hey, here's what this price is going to be based off our experience. Like, this is what we think you'll be at. Or were they getting those bids ahead of time? Because if they weren't getting those bids ahead of time and they're basing off like, oh yeah, we'd bid this at like 35 grand. Well, that's going to be a huge difference, because you're not going to put in, you guys know the amount of legwork and amount of man hours that goes into writing a good estimate and making sure everything's in there. But when you're doing it for all these homeowners all out of the blue, and they're all telling you all the different things they want, it's probably a lot of stuff you haven't worked with before. I mean, how are they supposed to accurately bid anything?
And that's the problem with the consultants in general. A lot of contractors actually, in reality, just consultants, like glorified consultants. They don't have skin in the game. They don't do any work. They pretty much sign a contract and have find someone to do that. But at least they're liable for a lot of things, the management money. In a perfect world, a lot of times that does not happen. But in reality, I do see that. Hey, at least at HDTV network, what I've seen after covering, this is our story number 8, we see the theme. So there's always a production company, there's always a talent, there's always actually a contractor or people who does the job behind the scenes, and somehow they never can make it. Well, not never, but a lot of times they don't make it right. And who are you gonna blame? Are you gonna blame the network? Are you gonna blame the talent? Are you gonna blame the consultant? And I'm just curious, who paid $35,000 to demo crew? That's my biggest question. Because
what are you really building up to that? I get it. Sam brought up a great point in the timing, right? Like, it was so hard to like do anything in that period for contractors, because there's so much uncertainty, so much like, we're all gonna die. You know what I mean? And then it's like you can't be within 5 feet of each other. So then, when you're doing demo, right? Like, how are you? Okay, guys, we got to carry this cabinet out, but stay 6 feet away from each other.
No, I think I actually figured it out. So there's 3 homeowners here. It's actually a perfect business model for so many contractors. So the first one, they make a lot of mistakes. And then second one, even more mistakes. You can see here. So Hollies, they were told $35,000 later, for 35 or 45,000 budget was spent in demolition. So they still have to finish the project. Most likely they did. Then Aubrey Bennion paid $13,000 up front for a $25,000 project, and later increased it to $40,000. So they were asking for more money. But Goats, probably the last customer, paid $50,000 and no work was never began. So it was a typical robbing Peter to pay Paul. So
there's a term for that, isn't it? Ponzi something, that's crazy.
But that's what it is. Like, a lot of homeowners don't know it, but contractors do lose money, but unfortunately they keep borrowing money from future projects. And unless they really upside down where suppliers cut them off and they cannot move on, it's always the last customers. Like, I've seen businesses go out of business after 20 years, and towards the end, they might have 300 homeowners affected, but smaller company could have 10, 15. Here we have 3. So they did not have experience, now have 3 customers. And it's a mini rob Peter to pay Paul business model. Now they're solid contractors. They have experience now. I mean, you can see the pattern here. Like, they were borrowing money from future jobs.
The only difference between a general contractor and a Ponzi scheme is if it works, right? That's an old saying for a reason, because contractors, you are taking money from one job's down payment to pay for other things. And, there's no way to keep track of it all. Every contractor tries, but, just to your point, until something happens, they can keep a lot of contractors, a lot of the largest contractors in the state function that way. It's not an unnormal business practice, but as you saw here, it did not take much for that to all go upside down. It's a house of cards, and it's not a good business model to build on.
The accounting process is so tough, because you got, like, how do you do a WIP statement and like a work in progress statement? You got like billings in excess of work you've done, and you've got work in excess of billings you've completed, and there's all these different, statements of work and submission schedules. It's tough for a contractor to keep track of it all, and it exists in any business where you're doing a service over a long period of time. I've struggled in it in a completely unrelated business, right? Building CRMs, it's the same idea.
I think HGTV's response, or Magnolia Network's response, is interesting. They pulled the show one day after it launched, and then they did like a further a serious investigation for a week and put it back out. Like, what were they doing
Yes.
while all this was going on?
It's not easy to
Playing
make
PR game.
contractors accountable. And I also know what was happening in the mind of the contractors. I know those conversations. They're probably thinking, we're going to be fine. We're going to get publicity out of it. We're going to lose money now, but later we'll have more business. And usually your reputation goes ahead of you. And if you're the contractor, you have to be very careful with this business model because it never works. I promise you. You have to learn how to budget your jobs. You're the contractor. You literally have to contract labor, material, scope of work. That's number one job description that you have. Awesome show this week, guys. Thank you so much for co-hosting with me, guys. If you're the homeowner, you can always reach out to us, to the show, maybe even come to us, share your story, 612-558-4881. I'll see you guys next Saturday.